Hello everyone, welcome you all again to EduPortal. So we have started our new video series, that is Concept through MCQ. And here in each video we will discuss over a new concept, and along with that we will solve questions based on that particular concept. Okay, so all the questions that we are going to solve in this video series are important from GATE and ESE exam perspective, and students who are preparing for other competitive exams will also find this course useful. So let's get started. Now today we are going to discuss questions from the structural engineering section, and the topic is determinacy and indeterminacy. Okay, so here is the question for you. The question says the kinematic indeterminacy of the plane truss shown in the figure. Okay, so the question is on your screen and you can see the plane truss, and we need to determine the kinematic indeterminacy of this structure. Okay, so option A is 11, option B is 8, option C is 3, option D is 0. Okay, so now we will solve this question, and along with that we will discuss the relevant concept. Okay, so now let's move on to the solution. So what is kinematic indeterminacy? It is the number of additional equations required to determine all the independent displacement components. It is also called the degrees of freedom. Okay, so kinematic indeterminacy is also called the degrees of freedom. So what is this number of additional equations? Okay, so let's see. So additional equations equal to total displacement components minus the number of compatibility equations. Now how to determine the number of compatibility equations? So it is actually the number of constraints imposed by the support reactions. So in the other sense, it can be said that it is the number of external support reactions, which is denoted by R. Okay, so number of compatibility equations equal to R, that is number of external support reactions. Suppose total displacement components equal to N, and number of additional equations, that is the kinematic indeterminacy, is denoted by dk, so it is equal to N minus R. N minus R, that is the kinematic indeterminacy. Okay, so now we will study about the difference between pin jointed plane frame and rigid jointed plane frame. So pin joints do not offer any resistance to change in angles between the members meeting at a joint. Okay, so pin joints do not offer any resistance, but in case of rigid joints the angle between the members meeting at a joint remain unchanged during the deformation of the structure. Okay, so suppose this is a pin joint. So here is the two members meeting at this joint. So if this angle is theta, so angle can be changed. Angle can be changed during the deformation of the structure because it's a pin joint. It's a pin joint. But in case of rigid joint, suppose this is a rigid joint, two structure meeting at this joint. So here angle between the members will remain unchanged. Suppose after deformation the structure is like this. Okay, so if we draw the tangent, so initial angle was 90 degree, so after deformation angle should be 90 degree. So the angle between the tangent will also be 90 degree, so the structure will deform like this. Okay, so that the angle between the member remain unchanged even after the deformation. Okay, so that is the difference between rigid joint and plane joint, that is angle remain unchanged. Okay, now the second difference is pin jointed plane frame members carry only axial force. In case of rigid joint, members carry axial force, shear force and bending moment. Okay, so in pin joint members carry only axial force. Suppose this is the member, so it will carry only axial force. Okay, but in case of rigid joint, the members will carry axial force, shear force and bending moment. So it will carry axial force like this, shear force like this, and also bending moment. Okay, so this is the difference. Now members in pin jointed frame remain straight even after deformation, but in case of rigid joint, members assume curved shape during the deformation of the frame. Suppose we take a cantilever beam which is a rigid jointed frame. UDL is acting on the beam, so after deformation the shape will be like this. Okay, shape will be like this. So this is the deformed curved shape after deformation. So this is the difference. Next is this one we have studied, members remain straight and members assume curved shape. The next one is each member in each joint in rigid jointed pin jointed plane frame, the joints have two independent displacement component. Both are linear movement. One is del x, that is horizontal movement, and another is del y, that is vertical. Two independent displacement components. Okay, two independent displacement component for pin jointed plane frame. But in case of rigid jointed plane frame, each joint has three independent displacement component, two linear movements, that is one is del x, another is del y, and another is one rotation, that is theta. Okay, so it has three independent displacement component. It is one of the most important difference between these two. Okay, so here it has two, it has three. Now suppose this is a rigid jointed plane frame. Okay, so here n, that is the number of independent displacement component, equal to 3. So each joint has 3 independent displacement component. R, so for suppose take a fixed support, so here r equal to 3, so here degree of freedom is equal to n minus r, that is equal to 3 minus 3 equal to 0. So in case of fixed support it is 0. In case of hinge support, r equal to 2, so degree of freedom equal to n minus r, that is 3 minus 2 equal to 1. So it is 1. In case of roller support, r is equal to 1. So degree of freedom is equal to 3 minus 1 equal to 2. Okay, so roller support it is 2. So here degrees of freedom equal to 0, here 1, here 2. In other joints it will have 3 the independent displacement components. One is vertical, one is horizontal, and one is rotational. Okay, so what will be the total kinematic indeterminacy? So addition of degrees of freedom, 3 plus 3 6 plus 3 9 plus 3 12 plus 3 15 plus 3 18 plus 2 20 plus 1 21. So 21. Okay, so this is rigid jointed plane frame, rigid jointed, okay, plane frame. This is not space frame, this is plane frame. Now before moving on to our question, here we have plane truss, that is pin jointed plane frame. So we have studied that each joint has two independent displacement components, that is one is del x and one is del y, that is movement in two orthogonal directions. Okay, now we will solve our question. So here it has two independent displacement component, n is equal to 2. How many reactions are there? So here two reactions, r is equal to 2. So degrees of freedom is equal to 2 minus 2, that is equal to 0. So it has 0 degrees of freedom. Okay, so here n is equal to 2, only one vertical reaction is there, so r is equal to 1. So degrees of freedom DOF is equal to 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. Okay, so here it is 0, here it is 1. In other, all the joints will have two independent displacement component. Okay, now let's solve this problem. So in our problem, here it is a pin jointed plane frame. So here it each joint has two independent displacement component, that is, one is del x, another is del y. Okay, so 2, n equal to 2. Okay, so degrees of freedom DOF is equal to n minus r. N is equal to total independent displacement component, that is 2 for pin jointed plane frame, that is pin jointed plane frame. Okay, so and r is the number of external reactions. So here we have two reactions, so r equal to 2. So degrees of freedom is equal to n minus r. N is equal to 2 minus r is equal to 2, so that is equal to 0. So here only one reaction, so r is equal to 1. So degrees of freedom is equal to 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Here it has two independent displacement components, here 2, here 2 at E, at F also 2, at G also two independent displacement components. Suppose if we write the name of the joint A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so here so for A, degrees of freedom, so for A, degrees of freedom equal to 0, B, degrees of freedom 1, for others it is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So here 5 2s and 1, so it is 11. So here the solution is 11. Okay, so total kinematic indeterminacy, that is equal to dk, kinematic indeterminacy or total degrees of freedom. Okay, so that is equal to summation of degrees of freedom, that is equal to 11. So this is the solution. This is the solution by concept. Okay, now this is solution by counting the degrees of freedom at each joint. Okay, counting degrees of freedom at each joint. Now we will solve the same question by formula. Okay, so we will solve the same question by formula. The formula we have dk is equal to 2 into j minus r. Okay, so the formula comes from our discussion. Okay, so you can easily validate the formula. So j is equal to the number of joints, so 2 into j. Why 2? Because it has two independent displacement components, so that's why here this 2 comes. So total independent displacement component n is equal to 2 into j. Okay, total n total is equal to 2 into j. Number of joints, each joint has two independent displacement components, that's why 2, and total number of external reaction, that is r. So this is equal to n minus r that we had derived previously. So here number of joints, how many joints are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Total joints equal to 7, so j equal to 7. Number of reactions, how many reactions are there? 2 reactions, so here r is equal to 2, here only one reaction, r is equal to 1, so total is equal to r is equal to 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Okay, so dk is equal to 2 into 7, because number of joints equal to 7, minus r is equal to 3, is equal to 14 minus 3, that is dk equal to 11. So this is the solution. So we can see that whether we solve it by concept, dk is equal to 11, solve it by concept, that is by counting the degrees of freedom, or solve it by applying the formula, we get the same answer. Okay, now it depends upon you which one you prefer. Okay, so this is the solution of the question. Now let's move on to the question, and it says the kinematic indeterminacy of a plane truss, what will be? So option A is the correct answer. Okay, so total dk, that is dk, so this is the answer. So we have solved the question. And we have also discussed about kinematic indeterminacy. Okay, so let's end our discussion here. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed the video, and if you like this video, please don't forget to share among your friends. Okay, we will be back soon with our new video on a new concept. So till then, have a nice day and goodbye.